My brothers and sisters, I greet you with the Islamic greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May peace and blessing of Almighty God be upon you all. Once again, another tragedy. My all condolence as a director of the Oxford City of Sanctuary. I give our condolence to the family of these poor people which died for nothing, died for to come in and have a little bit of a better life. Suffocated, damaged, children, elderly, young, woman and man. This is the crime of century, and this is not only this one. Many thousand coming by boat, they are going to be drowned. Many are drowned. Many other one, as the brother said, has been behind the lorry and died. Why? Because the foreign policy is, do not let them to come in here. We have to change the foreign policy against these people. As we said, Oxford and all country, they all people, they welcome these people. They know it could have been us. It could have been our daughter, our son, our children. It's very important. We are human and brothers, one race. There is a one race and the human race. There is no other one. There is no border. There is no border when the Almighty God made the earth. He does not say this is China and this is America and this is England or whatever. He said go and live and spread. Spread and be good. This is very important. Very important. We change the policy. Foreign policy. We have to change it. Based at least 100,000. Germany accept 100,000. Other one accept 100,000. Other one accept UK, which he can't afford it. And he got the place for them. They don't accept it. Why? This is sin. This is wrong from the Tory government. And I'm sure if the German government come, there are 100 and 200,000 hopefully coming. We need at least 200,000 people. They come. We have a place. I open my door. I'm sure that sister opened their door. I'm sure that brother is opening their door. They let him in because they're poor people. They are poor people. Therefore, we need to help them. Is our duty, is our humanity duty, is our friend duty, which we look after these people. We may be us the next time. God bless you. Let's get united together and let's change the law which all can come. God bless you and thank you very much.
The shocking and awful news of the tragedy that unfolded yesterday, the discovery of 39 bodies, from what we hear, 38 adults and a teenager in a lorry in Essex.
Sorry.
And we had the crocodile tears of the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, and Priti Patel. I'll say this, it is because of their racist immigration policies that people traffickers are actually making a fortune out of the misery. The truth of it is this, we know this, people are going to move. If you are prepared to take your chances and refrigerate them effectively, or take your chances on an axle of the bottom of a lorry, then actually you're running from something. A lot of people are coming to Syria, where there is conflict, persecution, and all the rest of it. We're absolutely clear. Migrants, refugees, absolutely welcome here. What's happening in northern France at the moment is an absolute disgrace, where people are kind of a wall built there, where people's living conditions are being smashed up. It's a very good picture. I don't know if people have gone to the Pitt Rivers Museum. It's a very good exhibition about Calais, particularly the jungle that was smashed up by the French authorities a few years ago. One of the things that kind of struck me was a map that was embroidered by people from Eritrea, Afghanistan, Iraq and so on, and a very tiny map of Britain in the corner, like it's very distant. And we know that 39 deaths, they're the tip of the iceberg. Because what's happening is, at least 1,000 this year have died in the Mediterranean. People that are going to rescue them are being charged by the Italian government and so on. So this is the Fortress Europe, Fortress Britain. This is the atmosphere in which we operate. So it's very important that actually we're making a stand today, and actually across the country, up and down the country, and outside the Home Office, there's a vigil. Around the country, there are going to be vigils like this. We need to be absolutely making a stand and say we can't have this again. And actually we need to fight for people around the world as it please.
Rather than using words of my own, I'll just read out the speech, apology speech from Annalise Dodds, who's in Parliament this evening. Annalise writes, "My apologies, I cannot attend this vigil as I'm having to attend votes in the House of Commons. I was appalled to hear about the awful human tragedy that was discovered in the early hours of Wednesday morning. It is difficult to fathom the horrendous experience of those trapped in the refrigerated lorry who appear to have died in that confined and freezing space. Sadly, this is not the only such tragedy in recent times. In 2000, 58 Chinese migrants were discovered deceased at Dover, having suffocated to death. In 2014, scores of people narrowly escaped death, and one died after being locked in a container travelling to Tilbury. There was also the horrible tragedy of 71 people found abandoned and dead in a lorry on an Austrian motorway. And of course, we are approaching being desensitised to hearing about the deaths of migrants trying to use marine routes to reach safety. There are two clear messages from what happened. First, there needs to be far stronger action taken against those organised criminals who exploit people who are absolutely desperate to come to the UK. Above all, we need to understand why people will risk such appalling treatment to come to our country. It is simply wrong that there is not a proper legal route for people to come to the UK. The UK only takes 1% of refugees globally and has tightened its rules over family reunifications and is one of the few countries to use unlimited detention. The Joint Council for the Welfare of Migrants has said we need a commitment to opening safe legal routes to the UK, quick decisions for people seeking to make a better life for themselves in the UK. People move, they always have and they always will. Nobody should have to risk their life to do so. Almost every day I hear from people living in Oxford who have every right to be here, but who are treated appallingly by the Home Office. The memory of these 39 people must never leave us. Instead, it must prompt an urgent shift towards a decent and fair immigration system where our country properly shoulders its international responsibilities. For Annalise Dodds, the After Peace Deputy.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. We are together.
I just wanted to say, the child of immigrants and refugees, what would have happened? I wouldn't be here today if the British government had closed its doors. It almost closed its doors. There's only for time because they had Czech passports at that time. And Czech passport holders were allowed in. The rest were not. And the rest, on my family, perished as a result. And this is what is happening now. And a policy that is, like the current policy, a policy of denial, is what we propose. It's right that we should signal that we have a climate emergency, but we have lots of other emergencies too. And it's not business as normal. Let's see if we can establish this route, that route. I'm in favour of that. But it has to be said that we're not in control of these events. There are disasters happening, climate disasters, civil war disasters all over the world, and in some we are responsible. And we have to open our doors and not allow the people simply to perish. This is what has happened in the past, and it's what's happening now. It must stop.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
I've got a message from Councillor Bosnia Jafari Marbini. She's a Labour councillor and also a local champion. She sent her apologies. She's working late tonight. She says, the headlines that have followed this tragedy have further dehumanised those affected. They were Eritrean, Iraqi and Iranian. There was a teenager and 38 adults. Who were they thinking of during this perilous journey? What were they thinking of during this journey? When was their last meal, their last drink of water? Climate justice has gained much positive attention in recent times, but in this talk of decarbonisation and the green economy, what has been lost is that those most affected by a limitless fleet right now, people move for a variety of reasons, and always have. Includes wars, famine caused and exacerbated by neoliberal corporations, the absence of hope. The border regimes of the UK and EU and our utter preparedness to treat humans as a commodity shames us all. This is a tragedy of our making, and we must demand change. We demand a change in policy and safe, humane routes to a place of sanctuary.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Oh, say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome here.
Say it loud, say it clear.
Refugees are welcome